we will be meeting later this month. I look at my watch, like later in a week and a half.
Okay, thank you. And no Salary and Benefits Committee, Councilmember Charbonneau, what about Economic Development? Oops.
We're meeting
Close that.
Wednesday. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Oh yeah, we're meeting Wednesday, May 24th.
Okay. Regional committees, any regional committees? Councilmember Villasenor.
Yeah, so East Side Transportation Partnership met. If you hadn't seen the reports, Metro has been decreasing their level of service, and while that doesn't affect us in particular, considering we only have maybe a couple of bus routes that run through, the 240 is pretty much the only bus you probably see. A lot of the outlying areas in King County are really feeling the squeeze on that. So we'll see. Hopefully, when trains come back, and they are really pushing to hire more drivers and mechanics. It's been really difficult for them, but there has been a decrease in service. So, but yeah, it seems to be the thing these days.
Probably see more cars on the road. Any other regionals? Councilmember Clark.
The Metropolitan Solid Waste Committee met, but I don't really have anything to pass along, but we did meet last week. If you have any questions, let me know.
Okay, anything else? All right, moving on. Community Activities Committee, City Manager Pingle, what do you have for us?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council. Couple of things. Community Activities Committee met Wednesday the 10th, and then generally the Vice Chair will get a report to the city the following morning, but Vice Chair Six was heading out of town, so I told him I would provide a brief update just verbally. So the primary item of business at the May 10th meeting was just the summer events and the status of those. We had our events and recreation coordinator resign suddenly, and after several weeks of not being able to get in touch, and so we were scrambling a little bit just to find out where things had been left and what had or hadn't been done. So want to echo the mayor's sentiments towards the CAC as well as Director Bronze. They really stepped up and found out where things were. Again, the main impact right now is moving to July 1st for our Independence Day celebration rather than it being on the 4th. And so want to thank them. As far as the rest of our events, we expect them to go, and I'll be working on finding at least a temporary employee to help us with our summer events, and also working on the communication side of that and making sure we get that supported. I also wanted to thank Public Works. Some of you may have heard me say it, but I agree with Jeff. I think Public Works that is the heart of local government, in my opinion. You can't do without it. I think American life would be very different without our Public Works employees. And want to thank them. Want to thank and specifically call out Connor and our Public Works crew. It has been a fantastic experience for me to get to know them, get to know the work that they do, and observe. We have a really good Public Works crew. This is the 4th city where I've had the privilege of being a city manager, and I can, and so in that context, want to thank them for what they do and really give them a shout out as to the job that they do. Echoing a lot of sentiments that were already provided, I also need to thank Brenda. This will be the last city council meeting that she'll be at since we have our town hall on June 6th. She has definitely been a breath of fresh air and has really set up the city nicely as we move forward. And so I want to thank her for that. The only other thing I have is I wanted to we mentioned it earlier, but just make everyone aware, the legislature did call a special session that started today. It was my understanding that they expected it to be very, very brief. I know that they were hoping that they would be able to conclude in a day. I don't know if that's happened, but again, that's where Holly, our lobbyist, is. And so once we get an update from her, we'll make sure the council's aware.